Welcome back to my channel. I have a fun little video for you guys today. We're going to be talking about all things spooky, Halloween, a little bit of horror thrown in there. We're going to be talking about all of the products, well, maybe not all, but most of the products that I have in my collection that are spooky, Halloween, horror themed. As you guys can probably tell, I love Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday of the year. I absolutely freaking adore with all of my spooky heart. We start decorating the day after Labor Day, so September going all the way through October is spooky season in this household. I have my Halloween themed shirt on and my little silver skull earrings. We're just all spookified for this video. This is the time of year that I like to really pull out my shifty, iridescent, like holographic makeup, my holographic shifty highlighters, my more like shimmery, deeper pigmented blushes. During this time of year, I like to bring in those smoky tones like deep rich purples, grungy greens, yellows, like blacks, grays, or those kind of grungy gothic looks. Some of the makeup products that I'm going to be talking about today may not necessarily be specifically spooky or Halloween or horror themed, but the color stories, the shiftiness to them, the tones, the shades, or the type of shades and colors and shifts and stuff that I like to bring in for looks during this time of year for that spooky Halloween season. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with highlighters, blushes, and face palettes. I have 11 highlighters, 1 blush, and 2 face palettes. I know that's like a weird ratio, but like I said at the very beginning of the video, this is the time that I like to pull up those iridescent holographic highlighters. The shades and tones that I don't use very often throughout the rest of the year, just perfect for this time of year. So let's start with highlighters first, and let's start with 2 that are new to my collection. These are from the Profusion and Casper the Friendly Ghost collaboration. Both of these are so pretty. We have Fabulous and Ghosting You. These are holographic highlighters. Fabulous is kind of a green to blue like shift. Both of these are more on the glittery side, but they are so freaking pretty. Let me see. Let me turn on my light here. There we go. So you can see if you can get some more of that shiftiness. Oh my God, it's so pretty. Hey, Ghosting You, you can see there. I have green, pink, purple reflex. Like these are definitely ones that I would not pull out very often just for like special occasions, but like the spooky season, Halloween, maybe even going into the holidays, perfect. These next 4 I pulled out of my archive. I have 2 from the Disney Designer Collection and 2 from the Villains Collection. Now these, you can see, they're not like spooky Halloween theme specific, but the shades and the tones are ones that I love to use this time of year. Start with the Disney ones first, or the Disney Princess ones first. We have Big Tough Girl, and this one has a really pretty, just kind of purple iridescence. Definitely not one that I use like, on the daily, but during this time of year, oh my God, it is absolutely stunning. Then we have Horse and Carriage. This is Cinderella. And what I love about this one is that it's very unique. This one has a blue shift to it. Just, I'm not going to swatch anything because if I do, we'll be here to the end of time. And I just, it's a lot to swatch, but this one has a really pretty blue like reflect undertone. It's so freaking pretty. Gorgeous during this time of year. And I also like to pull this one out during the winter for like icy looks, but yes, beautiful highlighter. Then we have the villains. We have Ursula and we have Hades. There are lots of these in this collection, but these 2 are like specifically the ones I like to pull out this time of year. Ursula is just a really pretty iridescent, just very wet looking purpley shade. This one and Big Tough Girl, this one right here, the shades and tones are very, very similar between these 2, but this one is a powder and this one is a Super Shock. What I like to do is put this one on first, and then I'll add a little bit of this one over the top just to add a little bit more iridescence, a little bit more oomph, but both of these are just perfect. And then we have Hades. The reason I pulled this one, as you can see, I'm sure, I don't know if you can see that, has a pink to purple like undertone iridescence to it with a gold base. It's so freaking pretty. These 2 also came out of my archive. First, this one is part of the Colourpop Hocus Pocus 2 collaboration. We have the Find the Book Shimmering Body Powder. This is part of the Soul Body. Now, I don't use this one on my body. I use this one on my face. This one has a really pretty blue to green shift to it with just like little tiny micro glitters. Oh my God, I want to do like dragon, serpent, type looks. This is going to be perfect. And then from Makeup Revolution, this is part of the Nightmare Before Christmas collaboration. There were 2 of these. I ordered them from Ulta. The other one came shattered. We know the story, the chance you're taking when you order from Ulta. But this one is Moonlight, Mischief, and Madness. And you have Jack Skellington's face embossed in there. I don't use this highlighter. This one is strictly for collecting. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put this one in my background. It'll be perfect for spooky season as like background decor. Then from Nomad, I pulled out the Around the World Ko-Fa Gone Moonlight. I probably butchered that one, but this is another really pretty, just blue to purple iridescent highlighter. Also not like specifically Halloween themed, but the tone is one I like to use this time of year. Same thing with the Milani Ludicrous Lights highlighters. Both of these are like very reflective and holographic. We have Pinkaroo. This one is like a purple pink to blue holographic shift. So pretty. And then Peach Ella is like a pink to coral gold kind of a holographic reflect. I have only pulled out one blush, but this one is the Fever blush from the Scorched collection. And as you can see, I think you can see why. A very purple, mauvey, magenta, glowy blush. Oh my God. During this time of year, these are the tones that I go for as far as blush. It is so pretty. And then we have, this is the Wayne Goss Weightless Veil Blush Palette in Vivid Azalea. This one is one that I never use except for this time of year. And let me show you why. Look at that. The bright purple, magenta, vivid, very, very pigmented. You want to like dip into this. If you go ham in it, you're just going to have a giant purple streak in your face, and maybe that's what you're going for. But if you just want to like build it up, very, very light-handed. And then you have kind of this holographic, slightly, not super shifty, but a little bit shifty highlighter there. This specific palette, I really only pull out this time of year. I don't really use it at any other time, just because of the fact that it's so pigmented and vivid. But yeah, beautiful. And then we have the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Not to Lucent Highlighter Palette. This one has just a bunch of really reflective holographic shades in there. I think you can like see the shifts. Like blue, pink, green, yellow, gold. These are so freaking pretty. And I'm going to be so excited to pull this one out to put together these really just spooky, holographic, Halloween themed looks. Perfect for this time of year. Moving into my spooky Halloween themed eyeshadow palettes, I have 17, so we have a lot. So let's go ahead and jump into this part of the video. First, let's start with the newest one to my collection. And this is, once again, the Profusion Casper the Friendly Ghost collaboration. This goes along with those 2 graphic highlighters I showed you. Casper on the front. Now, this is supposed to glow in the dark. I went into the bathroom, turned off the light. It has like the slightest bit of a glow, like the slightest hint of a glow, but like barely. I was hoping like I would turn off the light and it would just be, pow, super glow, super iridescent. But yeah, I wasn't really getting much of a glow from it. But I really love the theming. I love Casper the Friendly Ghost, just in time for spooky season. This is what our color story is looking like. You can see they're like little iridescent kind of shifty little shades in this palette. And there are also like little moons, little embossings in some of the shades. From Blend Bunny, we have the Lure palette. Now, this one is not specifically spooky Halloween themed, but, it's themed after like sirens, which can be like very eerie, very mystical. And this color story is just one that, these greens, these purples, these blues, like this is the type of color story that I love for this time of year, which is the reason why I went ahead and pulled it, even though it's not specifically Halloween themed. But yeah, to me, this is a Halloween color story. I pulled out 2 palettes from Nomad. The first, this is the Haunted Europe. This one came out last year. This was the 2022 Halloween palette, if I remember correctly. You have the shifty holographic cover. And then our color story. Browns, golds, purples. You have a little iridescent red up here. Then we have Ghost Town, USA. This one just came out like a month or so ago. This is the 2023 Halloween palette. You can see we also have the holographic shift here. This one has the new shimmer formula from Nomad, which is the Soft Touch Shimmer. This one I actually like a little bit more than the one that they came out with last year. You will definitely also, if I have not mentioned already, be seeing some of these palettes in my October spooky Halloween themed Shop My Stash. Next, we have my Supernatural Join the Hunt Eternal War eyeshadow palette. If you guys are unaware, I am a huge fan of the TV series Supernatural, Sam and Dean Winchester. I freaking love them. And of course, this is a very spooky, horror themed palette. So of course I had to pull it in for this video, but this is what our outer cover is looking like. And then this is our color story. I think I've used this like a couple of times, but you know, it's one of those things I bought specifically to collect and love it. Perfect themed, spooky, haunting palette. The next two I got from Hot Topic. I also got the Supernatural one from Hot Topic, but this is my Oogie Boogie themed eyeshadow palette. The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is one that I've been keeping in the background for decor. Same thing with this one. This is the Love is Eternal Nightmare Before Christmas eyeshadow palette. This one is Raised. I freaking love it. Color story, not one of my favorites, but you know, Halloween themed nonetheless. This next one isn't necessarily Halloween themed, but it's a kind of a grungy gothic color story, one that I definitely will be pulling out this time of year. That is the Blown Smoke. And as you can see, it's very gothic, it's very grungy. Love it. And I have my three from Shroud Cosmetics. These two were collaborations with Batty Bean and Shroud. The first one says Beat Bean. That's who she was when she did the first collaboration. But we have It's Freaking Bats and then Hollow Bean. Very just perfect kind of Beetlejuice themed color story going on here. And then Hollow Bean. With this one, you have those very Halloween shades of green and orange. This shifty purple over here. Freaking gorgeous. Then we have the Moonfall palette. This one isn't necessarily spooky or Halloween themed, but the color story definitely is. We have these perfect shades of green and purple and blue. These very holographic, shifty looking shimmers. Just perfect for those Halloween looks. These next three are part of the Hocus Pocus collaboration collection with Colourpop. We have the Gather Round Sisters, and that's that color story. The Witching Hour, and then the newest collaboration. This was with the Hocus Pocus 2 film, which came out last Halloween. That's our cover for the palette. Our color story. We have 4 more palettes, and then we will be done. This next one, this was part of the NYX collaboration with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the TV series on Netflix. This one was designed to look like a spell book. This is one that I never use. Never use this one. Only bought this one for collectability purposes. So this one I actually have in my archive. This is what it looks like on the inside. It's kind of hard to get like the full image, but there are shadows, highlighters, and blushes in this palette. From Lunar Beauty, we have the Moonspell 2 palette. I was never able to get the Moonspell 1. I missed out on that one, but this one is the Moonspell 2. And this is our very kind of magical, mystical, spooky themed color story. And then these last two, these are from the Makeup Revolution collaboration with Nightmare Before Christmas. We have the Sally palette and we have the Jack palette. This is what our covers are looking like. This is what the Sally color story is looking like. And then our Jack Skellington color story. And that is going to be it for this spooky Halloween themed video. I'm so looking forward to pulling in some of these makeup products and these palettes and putting together some spooky Halloween themed looks for you guys going throughout the month of October, the official spooky month of the year. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help with the channel. If you're new to the channel, if you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my little spooky family over here. Make sure you tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. You can also follow me on my other socials. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be safe. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.